to compete in the real race, prove everything on the track, and continue to pursue the everlasting racing glory as your routine. A single clack of your wheel. The passion is engaged. All you have to do is to commit, to feel the grip in your hand, to perform every precise entry, to deliver the perfect friction circle, and to master the art of driving. You may ask, where's my race crew? And I would say, leave it to Conspit. Ares, the wheelbase that was built to master the competitive sim racing scene. With its powerful skew pole motor and high-precision optical encoder, Ares delivers an unparalleled driving experience with highly detailed force feedback. 290 GP, deemed to become the true next generation. It breaks the planar constraints through a unique 3D ergonomic design and redefines everything about the Formula steering wheel, featuring a full carbon fiber front housing, ensuring a light yet ultra-rigid experience. The MagFlip rocker-type paddles achieve the same functionality as Formula One setups. The CDP system will push your performance to the next level. Focus and execute the agile maneuver, all within just a blink of an eye. With this zealous combination of Ares and 290 GP, the roar of the road thrills both your hands and soul.
Welcome back to World Sim Series Racing action, and welcome back to another Conspit MX5 Cup final. Qualifying session is just about over. In terms of the championship, Barbukov has sealed it, and he'll not be here tonight, and it's a big battle for the last two steps on the podium. Bejanaru versus Yetzi versus Thomason, and double points this race as well. We've got two races here tonight, two races of 20 minutes, and as the qualifying session ends, it's Yetzi ahead of Golik, ahead of Chapman, Bejanaru in P4, and Thomason down in P7. Still qualifying session, a few cars, well, one car still to cross the line, but that won't affect our top few runners. As we get ready to go, the drivers will have a short break before they head into the first race of this weekend. And
you could say midweek, isn't it?
Oh yeah, midweek.
It's a perfect middle of the week, working week. As you can look at the qualifying session results now in front of your screens. Gustav's already mentioned the drivers who took the highest places, and since we are right in time to start the race, okay, we still have a couple of minutes, so we can safely run through the qualifying session results. Do we run through the qualifying session results? Yep, we do. There they are.
Well, again, it's Yetzi at the top, ahead of Golik, Chapman, Bejanaru, Saukaitis, Rybatsky, Thomason, Marcinovski, Velichka, Piech, Ruzante, Malicha, Dabrowski, Schwadas, F, Fashchevsky, Owen, and Watson down in 18. So 18 cars here for the final race. These 18 cars were picked out by who was quickest in, who had the most points over the season, and we've got nighttime here out on track.
I think that should be a glitch. It is a glitch, I believe, in the AC system. Yep, we sometimes have this fast night-day cycles happening. Hopefully that's gonna go away pretty soon. And to be exact, what we are racing here, the Conspit MX5 Cup final race. After every season, after every regular season, when the drivers finish the 12 weeks championship, they have this last final race to figure out who will come out on top. And as Gustas mentioned, Barbukov has already sealed the championship by quite a big margin, so top one is already okay. Then there's the fight between Thomason, and Yetsi will start the race from pole position. Bejenaru qualified 4th and Thomason 7th, so a small gap between the drivers that's going to make the life for Yetsi easier. He's 3rd in the championship standings. He misses out currently by 9 points for P2, but he'll have the best chance for the first race. The second one will see top 10 drivers starting the second race in a reversed order, the way they will finish the first run. And this is the Lithuanian Motorsports Park, the new non-existing yet circuit, which is currently being built in Lithuania. And we've had a race in the Porsche Cup cars. I think the Mazdas will suit this track a little bit better, as we can prepare ourselves for the first race.
First race of this Wednesday and first race of the MX5 Cup Finals, and we're away. Looks like a clean getaway just about from everyone, as Yetsi already up in front. He's got a little bit of a gap to the cars behind and should go into turn 1 cleanly. Here's on board with Thomason. He's got a car down the inside who's going to go side by side, and he's going to try and get up a position or two, even maybe. Nope, just one. A little bit of contact here. Chapman versus Bejenaru, who also wants to get forward. They've all got their eyes on Yetsi, who's already pulled out a second at the top, so he's clear. He's out of all the danger. And here's Bejenaru down to 7th position. Now he was a little bit off outside of the chicane, but now overtaking opportunity here into this big braking zone and a bendy braking zone as well. No opportunity, but he's gonna find the speed on the exit. A little bit of a spin behind, a little bit of contact, but Bejenaru should be safely up into P6. Might he try for P5? No, too far away, and that's his rival Thomason in that position as well. So this is a battle for championship spots. Thomason is a little bit further down in the standings, so he'll need a little bit of a miracle here to do anything, but Bejenaru gonna try and get forward up into P5. He goes and gets the move done quite easily. I think Thomason just doesn't have the pace here to keep up with these guys up in front, but he'll try to still hold on to his position. Maybe a good opportunity in race 2. Here comes Sokaitis. He's gonna go to the outside into turn 1. And he'll try and make a move. No, too far away. Couldn't get it done. He might try the switch back, and he'll be on the inside for the chicane. No, again, not enough. And Bejenaru in front. He'll try and get away. Not working that well right now, but actually Thomason a little bit wide, loses a little bit of speed. And it's going to be Sokaitis going to the inside and gets the position. And up into P6. Thomason back down to P7. Good start, but doesn't have the pace to continue on with that. Bejenaru's got a little bit of breathing room now as well.
Yep, nice battles at the beginning of the race. Only 18 cars on the grid. We've used to seeing much more MX-5s on the track for the final race, but 18 is also more than enough to have good entertainment and nice battles on the racetrack. That's Dabrowski watching battles in front. I think one car was off the racetrack, or at least going slow. Yep, it was that car on the outside. It is now behind... that was Schwadas, I believe, who was off the racetrack, now needs to battle for the lower places. So, someone has spun. Who is that who has spun? Okay, there was a car which spun out of the racetrack. Golik now setting the fastest lap time, and he's trying to gain on on Yeti. Yep,
It's quite close. He's not lost that much more time. He lost time on lap 1 in the first few corners, actually, but he's kept it stable now to about a second. Looks like through the double left, Yetzi just has a little bit more pace. Maybe on the exit, Golik gains back, so he's staying in within that second. So Kaitis will try and catch up to Bejanaro, who's up to P3 because of those spins in front.
Yep, Chapman lost position, and who else did lose a position? Rybatsky is also out of... Rybatsky down in P10, qualified 6th, so even lower than P10. So we didn't see who that was, but it might have been Chapman who lost the place. He's now right behind Rosante.
Behind and has an opportunity to move forward. Good news for Thomason as well, who moved up into 5th because of those cars losing places. Bejanaro doesn't look to be able to catch up to the ones in front, losing about half a second a lap, so huge difference. But here comes Chapman to the inside. Can't get it done. Rosante had enough speed on the apex. He'll try and get him back into the chicane, but can't do it side by side, so Chapman stays in P7. Now Golik, again a little bit quicker than Yetzi in front by just about a 10th, so still battle possible. That would be good news for Bejanaro. That would, if Yetzi could be pushed down at least a little bit.
Now there's another barrel here on the track for the pole position for the second race. Currently Dabrowski is holding the 10th place, but he's being chased down by Rybatsky, Piech and Malicha. This is a 4-car battle for pole position for the second race, and in races like these the reverse grid definitely plays a big role, because if you start from pole, you have a big chance of winning the second race and collecting quite a lot of points. So currently the drivers who qualified high, they are basically doing okay. The biggest question is how it's gonna be when they will finish. And Golik, again, fastest lap time. Yetzi set the fastest lap time just for Golik to go slightly faster. He was again faster by 1/10 and a small bit. The gap is now down to 0.7 of a second.
Gap coming down. We should see that lead battle clear up at some point. This is Piech and battle for P13, and can't get through just there. A lot of cars look to be trying that move, but a little bit squirmy on the exit. And I think that's going to be opportunity for Piech, who's going to go down the inside, and I think he should just about be able to hold on, but still down the inside and contact. But Piech holds on to the position. The car he was fighting drops down, had a half spin or so. Marcinovski.
It was Schwedas.
Marcinovski still with an opportunity there behind, but now back to the lead battle. 0.5 of a second. Golik has been quicker. He's been catching up to Yetzi, and you wouldn't think so with qualifying. Yetzi was about 2/10 quicker. Now Golik is finding the pace in the race. He's obviously using the slipstream as well of the car in front. And now 0.3 behind. You saw Yetzi make a small mistake on that slow hairpin. Now Golik, another fastest lap of the race, going quicker than he did in qualifying as well. Going quicker than anybody did in qualifying. So Golik is finding the pace with this slightly longer race, more time to get the tires up to temperature, more time to get yourself up to temperature as well. A little bit wide from Yetzi. Once again, he's really pushing up there in front. And trying to somehow get away. He needs a P1 if Bejanaro is in P3 to get the championship. Obviously, still that reverse grid race coming up. But Golik looks good behind and really closes up on this braking zone. But still, had to actually lose a bit of time, got a little bit too close, didn't want to hit the car in front. Behind, they're clear, 6.5 seconds to Bejanaro, so these two are really dominating this race. And well, if you look at the fastest lap times, huge differences to the cars behind as well. But in a little bit of a jam here is Golik. It's going to be difficult to overtake. We saw that this circuit is a difficult one to make moves on. For Yetzi, it's all about not making mistakes, but a little bit wide there from the apex once again, and can't do anything.
Yeah, I think the biggest or the highest opportunity to gain a position is to force your rival into a mistake, and I don't think Yetzi is ready to make big mistakes here, and due to the natural flow of the racetrack, it's definitely really difficult to prepare a maneuver which would work, because we have all these long sweeping corners with late apexes or those chicanes. In these Mazdas we see that the drivers can choose a couple of different lines. Look here, Golik driving a little bit differently than Yetzi does, and well, on the entry into this third corner, I believe, or was it, well, let's say third corner, he was a little bit tighter here. Also on the entry, Golik chooses to take that tighter line because he's driving those slower Mazda cars, and I think, well, he just tries to save off a couple of meters, but by the looks of it, it doesn't work at this moment. He is losing a little bit to Yetzi now during this lap. Yep, Yetzi was already faster on the previous lap, so as soon as Golik got himself into the slipstream zone, he cannot find good lines maybe, though these cars are, well, they don't have a lot of aerodynamics, basically no aerodynamics, so the grip is mechanical and the slipstream doesn't influence the entry into the corner too bad, but it looks like it still does a little bit of damage to the driving of Golik. Both of the drivers still being able to pull away from Bejanaro and Sokaitis. Sokaitis tries to hold on to Bejanaro for that P3 fight. Lower down the field we have a battle for P7. That's Watson trying to chase down Velichka. It's a slightly bigger gap than it is between P1 and P2. Still a battle possible. Marcinovski now taking 10th spot. That's gonna be the pole position for the second race if he'll manage to stay there. What about his qualifying session? Marcinovski qualified 8th, so I think he has the pace, and this is side by side, Malicha versus Pich, and another contact, and this is an off track. I think Pich didn't leave enough room. It kind of looked that he understeered into the side of his rival's car, and this is further drama. Malicha involved in further accidents. As soon as he found himself in the lower spots of the grid, he found out that there is not enough place for a couple of cars. That's Velichka trying to chase down Watson, looking for those higher points for race number 1. The points will be added together, and we will define the finishing order, the final order. After both of the races, the points will be doubled here for this event. So that means whoever finishes first in the overall positions after 2 races will receive 50, not 25 points. So basically, first position will receive 50 and the second position will receive 36. That's 14 points less than the winner of this whole final event. 2 races in total, both of them 20 minutes long, and this is Golik trying to chase down on Yetzi. If he'll not be able to overtake Yetzi, both of these cars have definitely an overspeed against their rivals. That promises us a very interesting second race. They will have plenty of work to do if they want to finish higher up, especially Yetzi, who would start 10th if he will win this first race.
Yep, and also very important is that second race. How quickly can you get through the field? We'll see the real pace of the drivers then. We see how difficult it is to overtake someone of the same speed. It's a little bit easier to make a move with somebody much slower, and well, the gaps are huge to the rest of the field. So it will test these two drivers. How well can they get forward? 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Still within that half second, but not getting closer. That's the problem here for the cars, for Golik behind. It's good for Yetzi. I think he doesn't mind that it's difficult to overtake. We'll see how he does in race 2, but maybe calm down a little bit as well. Probably those first few laps when he had a car behind him, it was probably super stressful. Now that he's realized, now that he knows where Golik is quick, he knows where maybe he's a little bit quicker than Golik, he can try and gap stationary. Somebody drive through for cutting.
Fashevsky, he's on the last spot of the grid. I think he managed to overtake. Oh yeah, he managed to overtake his rival while he was entering into the pit lane. And I think he's not doing the drive-through. Oh no, that's actually F who got into the pit lane. Fashevsky is still out on the racetrack with that drive-through penalty, which he'll need to do in a couple of laps, and should do that quicker. One lap time is 1 minute 35-ish, and we have 4 minutes on the clock. It's getting darker again, interestingly. It's 4 p.m. in sim time, simulator time, so it's 15 past 4. If that's, well, real conditions, I mean, at least the real date in the simulator than what we have, it's quite possible it gets already dark. And will we have a night race then for the second race if the time will continue?
Yeah, I think we'll be very, very close to that.
Yep, I think it's...
and this time I think Golik has been the closest that he's ever been. He was at 0.2 of a second, tried to make a move into that braking zone and again loses time. Really has to plan out where he makes his move. I think he saw an opportunity, maybe Yetzi just a little bit slower through some of the corners before, so probably saw that opportunity, tried to take it. Yetzi in front though, staying calm, cool, and collected, and he's pulled out a little bit of a gap here. That's good for him heading into what will be the final 2 laps of this race, and very different lines from both of the drivers.
Yeah, I mean, Yetzi has it. Sometimes he loses a little bit, but not too much for him to be overtaken. 2 minutes and a half, that means 2 laps till the end of this race. Chapman suddenly, did he go closer to Thomason, or Thomason overtook Chapman? I think that's Chapman who is gaining back those positions that he lost. He's now back into P6. Look at the pace. So Chapman almost 1 second faster on the previous lap, 1 second faster on the lap before, and that might be a battle. Thomason would like to collect as many points as possible. He's in the worst situation in the championship. Bejnaru is second, Yates is third, Thomason fourth, so that wouldn't change much for Thomason. Of course, he would like to finish as high as possible in the first race just to have or get a better chance for the second one. I think the second race will be the race where it's gonna matter for Thomason. He just needs to kind of fend off the attacks of Chapman. With 1.5 lap to go, he does have a good chance, but he doesn't go defensive, and that's going to be an easy move for Chapman. So the overspeed that Chapman has was enough to make that move in this circuit. And in the background, we have Watson and Velichka in a battle, and that's Watson on Velichka on the very same corner. So they just prove that overtakes on this racetrack are possible. You just need to be very close to your rival and hope for him to understeer in one of the corners, as Golik sets the fastest lap time with 1 lap to go. He is very close to Yetzi and also has a chance. So we've seen a couple of corners where the moves are definitely possible, though. Well, it looked like that the rivals that were ahead, they weren't defending the position. Maybe they were not expecting those drivers to take that inside line, which basically doesn't make a lot of sense. That's racing, and if as soon as you see someone being a little bit faster behind you, before a corner is approaching, you definitely want to go defensive. Unless you want to drive safe, that's... Well, unless you don't want to race the other driver and just want to bring your car home. Oh, and there goes Golik.
On the inside, he's found the opportunity. He saw it a few laps ago, and he's gone behind. Now Yetzi will have to think of what to do into the next braking zone. Because Golik, I think Golik will have an opportunity here. He's going to try and send it down the inside. No, just that little bit too far away. And, well, unless something happens here, I think Yetzi's got it, and he would take race 1. Bejnaru in P3. Right now, Yetzi in the best position to take a second spot in the championship, but race 2 always throws up many issues for the drivers. Out of the final turn, Yetzi will come and take victory. It's a pole to flag victory, but it wasn't as easy as it seems. Takes the victory ahead of Golik, who put pressure on him all the way through. Bejnaru will come home in P3 ahead of Saukaitis, Chapman, Thomason, Watson, Velitska, and Ruzante. And Marcinovski will be on pole for race number 2. And no position changes going through here, so Marcinovski will take the flag as well, and he's locked in pole position for race 2. Now just waiting for everybody else to cross the line.
So race 1 done for most of the drivers. Basically all of them have finished the race. Selvin and Fashchevsky is the last car on the grid. He did that drive-through penalty. So a couple of corners to go for some of the drivers, as we can try and go through the results of the first race.
Yep, and we've got Yetzi, Golik, Bejnaru top 3. And then Saukaitis, Chapman, Thomason, Watson, Velichka, Rosante, and Marcinovski. Your top 10. Dabrowski in 11th, Schwades 12th, Piech, Malika, Rybatsky, Owen, F, and Fashchevsky in P18. He's going to cross the line here. He'll be the final car to do so. And we get ready to go for race 2.
Interesting conditions, to say the least. It's dry, but it's almost dark on a racetrack which does not have artificial lighting, so I wonder how that will pan out for the second race, which will see The reverse grid starting order. I believe we'll have a couple of minutes of break time. So results are in. Stick tight. We will be back with the second race of the Conspit MX5 finals.
To compete in the real race, prove everything on the track, and continue to pursue the everlasting racing glory as your routine. A single clack of your wheel. The passion is engaged. All you have to do is to commit, to feel the grip in your hand, to perform every precise entry, to deliver the perfect friction circle, and to master the art of driving. You may ask, where's my race crew? And I would say, leave it to Conspit. Ares, the wheelbase that was built to master the competitive sim racing scene. With its powerful skew pole motor and high-precision optical encoder, Ares delivers an unparalleled driving experience with highly detailed force feedback. 290 GP, deemed to become the true next generation. It breaks the planar constraints through a unique 3D ergonomic design and redefines everything about the Formula steering wheel, featuring a full carbon fiber front housing, ensuring a light yet ultra-rigid experience. The MagFlip rocker-type paddles achieve the same functionality as Formula One setups. The CDP system will push your performance to the next level. Focus and execute the agile maneuver, all within just a blink of an eye. With this zealous combination of Ares and 290 GP, the roar of the road thrills both your hands and soul.
Back to the track soon. In about 20 seconds time, we'll get going for race 2 of the Conspit MX5 Cup final race. The championship, well, the championship is decided, but the P2, 3, and 4 are still battling it out for the prizes. Reversed grid for the top 10. This will be chaos.
Most definitely.
And we're away for, a little bit of a stall there at the back of the field. Somebody's sleeping, but we get down to turn 1 now. And Marcinovski leads the field down into turn 1. Big pressure coming from behind. Somebody very wide. A little bit of a spin there further back. That's Thomason. His championship hopes are done. But now Bejenaru, a spin behind.
Malika,
I think
that
that was
was-
Malika.
yeah.
Yep, Malika spinning around. Golik still in front of Yetzi. Yetzi's moved in to P5. He was side by side with Chapman, and he's gonna get this position sealed up. Yes, he does. Now Bejenaru all the way down in P8. Let's see how these two guys, well, Golik and Yetzi, how quickly can they get through the field? Can Bejenaru get through the field as well? Will it be enough for him? He needs a P3, pretty much at least, if he wants to be still within that shot for a second place. As we run, well, the whole field runs through, everybody's super tight and compact. This is good news for Yetzi, as even though Golik is in front, he's now stuck behind Watson and Velichka in front. So has got that opportunity as Watson goes down the inside. Golik is really close to them, but really can't make a move just yet. So now Yetzi, if he can have a good exit, he might be able to mount a challenge on Golik, as I think Watson's going to try and mount a challenge on Velichka ahead, who's going to defend down into turn. No, he's not going to defend down into turn 1. He's seen that it's hard to make a move there. A little bit of a different line from Golik. Lights flashing as well, trying to unsettle the competitors ahead. A little bit slow on entry and maybe a little, well, not too wide. He was fine as Watson goes down to the inside. Golik maybe wants to follow him, but I don't think he can, as these two are still side by side. Yetzi on the back of Golik, and Golik has to look behind and has to look forward as Yetzi goes to the outside. Well, actually inside. He's going to be on the outside here, but he's got the move done. Now Golik's on his inside. I thought there was contact, but there wasn't. And Yetzi's got the move done. He's gone around the outside, used the slower cars, but now Yetzi's in the exact same situation. He needs to get forward. He's going to try and go down the inside into this hairpin, and he's still a little bit side by side, but I think he's going to have the overspeed here into this double apex left-hander pretty much, and now looks like he'll have a good enough exit. He does. Puts Watson in between himself and Golik. Very, very important for him. He's going to have a little bit of breathing room. Now Golik needs to get forward ASAP. He's going to go down the inside as Watson leaves him space, but he's going to be on the outside here. Can he hold on to that line? No, he can't. Has to lift out of it.
Marcinovski sets the fastest lap. Bejenaru actually sets the fastest lap time as he crosses the line and he watches this whole battle happening in front of him. Was that a late brake maneuver or something?
Oh, a little bit of contact. Watson pushes Golik out, and this is going to be opportunity for Bejenaru up into P5. And gets it done. Use that opportunity. Yetzi now trying outside, inside, contact with Velichka, and this is not good for him because now, well, I'm sure there's going to be a penalty looming over his head. Watson is going to try and use that opportunity, but Yetzi's got the position now, I think, sealed up. Velichka, well, he's spinning around, and has Yetzi got the position? He has. Now has to make a gap.
He does have to make a gap because that was a contact between Yetzi and Velichka, and there is no chance anymore for Yetzi to let Velichka through and possibly avoid those penalties as Bejenaru makes positions, goes around the inside on Watson, goes up to into P3, and I think this is a great chance for Bejenaru. He's currently second in the championship standings, and I think it's very good news for Bejenaru now, the position that he sealed. Watson is still quite close on his tail, but I think that's not going to be an issue for Bejenaru. He has the pace and it looks like he's getting away. He will want to stick behind Yetzi as close as possible for as long as possible, and Yetzi will try to gain on Marcinovski. The driver who finished 10th in the first race is currently leading the race with 15 minutes to go. He has a good chance, but remember, Yetzi had that phenomenal pace. Malika sets the fastest lap time. He's currently 12th. The lap time he set was 35.0. We've seen low 34s in the first race. These tires are still cold. Well, they should be up to temperature, actually. We are 5 minutes into the race. The fastest lap times came a little bit later into the first race, so maybe they need to burn down that fuel to make those cars a little bit faster. Yet it will open up the pace now. I'm pretty sure about that. What about Bejanaro? He finished 10 seconds behind, well, almost 11 seconds behind Golik in the first one, so he does not have the pace that Yetzi had. Well, maybe for the second race he'll find something, because he finds himself quite close to the back end of Yetzi. Does Yetzi have some sort of a damage? Doesn't look that he can extrude the pace that he was able out of the car in the first race. Now he pushed and gained a little bit of time, so it looks like the final sector of the racetrack doesn't suit Bejanaro too well. This is the spot where he lost the most, and Yetzi makes gains on Marcinkowski. Let's look at the lap times of the drivers that are doing this time. Marcinkowski sets the fastest lap time. Yetzi takes over with a 34.5. Bejanaro 34.8, also quite good pace. Golik still fast, 34.5 in P5, and he'll definitely be trying to get back into this race. He's still not too far behind Bejanaro. So having that pace, he still can think about P3 in this second race. Tries to go around the outside on Watson in the long corner of this racetrack. We don't have the naming of the corners yet.
We'll probably have them once the track is built, or they will come about throughout moments that happen on track. So watching Golik now, who's, well, stuck big time. And I think he's going to go for that move finally. Gets it done. And up into P4 he goes. Can start trying to catch up to Bejanaro in front, but he's spent a lot of time. I don't think he'll catch up to Yetzi. The question for Yetzi is, how big is the penalty going to be? Is there going to be a penalty? And if there is, how big is it going to be? So Yetzi will try and push forward. Try to find time.
I think he can win this race definitely on the racetrack. Still 12 minutes on the clock. He's 9/10 behind Marcinkowski. And looking at the last laps that the drivers did, he was 9/10 faster than Marcinkowski. So he should not have a lot of issues to take that first spot here. The biggest question is, will he receive a penalty? And if so, how big will the penalty be? But, well, I think even 10 seconds would be a harsh penalty. Would it be a harsh penalty? He finished 10 seconds, 11 seconds ahead of Bejanaro in race 1. Well, of course, he spent the whole time leading the race and could extract the speed of the car. This time, it's not going to be such a huge gap between himself and the drivers behind, but with 11 minutes on the clock, he still has a healthy chance of finishing in top places, even if he'll receive a penalty. And this is a big question: will there be a penalty? So currently he would drop down to P8 if he would receive 10 seconds. He would drop to P5 if he would receive 5 seconds, but there is still 10 minutes on the clock. So the thing's still looking good. The question is how fast he'll be able to overtake Marcinkowski, and how fiercely Marcinkowski will try and defend. And he's defending, he knows those defensive lines, and well, at a racetrack like Lithuanian Motorsports Park, you definitely need to try and defend your position. I think it's a little bit easier to defend the position that you are at rather than gaining one. Yetzi will try the outside into first corner. Golik sets the fastest lap time of the race so far, 34.1. Around the outside, he had a very good exit, and that's more than enough. The overspeed that he had was plenty enough. But both of the drivers lost time. Bejanaro now only half a second behind Marcinkowski. At the moment, these 10 minutes is going to be a hot lap championship, a hot lap competition for Yetzi. He will try. I think he does. Well, he does understand that there's a chance that he might receive a penalty. So whatever he does now needs to avoid mistakes and be as fast as possible. Hope for bigger battles behind him. Bežanaro right on the tail of Marcinovski. Yetzi would hope that that battle would continue for a little bit longer. Golik made a mistake. He's now 1.5 seconds behind. He was a little bit closer to Bežanaro now. That's how you defend your position all the way to the inside before that right-hander. Leave no opportunity for your rival to only to take the outside line, but outbreaks himself. Marcinovski, good defensive moves, but he just braked a little bit too much, went too deep into that corner, went on throttle too late, and that was more than enough for Bežanaro. Bad news for Yetzi. And, well, the question remains how fast Bežanaro will be able to be on the racetrack. And Watson making another mistake, running a little bit wide during the braking into the penultimate corner. Golik gets even closer to Marcinovski, and I think that's going to be another positional lost. And Golik will be driving for P2 definitely in this race, trying to go around the outside into turn 1. Will that work? A little bit too far behind Marcinovski on the brakes.
Oh, a little bit of contact again. He tried that move around the outside. It didn't work the first time, and that was when Yetzi got in front. And he tried that again on Marcinovski. Now, didn't work again. This is good news for Bežanaro, that's for sure, because he'll be in front for just that little bit longer. And again, well, Golik's really trying everything, but he's got the pace.
I think he's trying on the wrong places in the first race where he had the chance. He tried on the wrong corner. He should try to get a good exit and then try on the next one, not on the long one where you get a very tight entry, and if the move doesn't work you lose a lot of time and an opportunity for an overtake for the next straight. And that's what happened again for Golik. He needs to gain back down that gap as Bežanaro is pulling away now from this battle. Golik needs to think about the better places to make those moves. Fashchevsky, another penalty for cutting the track. And once again, Golik tries to go to the inside, but he was a little bit too far behind. I think the way that Golik wants to make those moves are a little bit wrong, and well, he tries them in wrong places or being a little bit too far behind and still tries to get to the inside. All he does is just losing the speed for the next straight. I think he should plan his moves a little bit more careful. And Yetzi is not able to pull out that gap so quickly. It's 7 minutes on the clock. And, well, 5 seconds would put him into P4 now. 10 seconds would put him into P6, which is still not too bad. He won the first race. But he would need to compare himself with Bežanaro, actually. And that's not good for Yetzi. Because Bežanaro is up into P2. And if Yetzi receives a penalty, he'll finish behind Bežanaro, definitely. Well, depending on which position he would end up if a penalty would be applied.
Yep, that's the big question. Is it going to be 5, 10, 15? That's the big question here. What can Yetzi do? This is a battle for P7. So Kaitis, Dabrowski, Piech, and Malicha in that one. Malicha a little bit further away. Piech gonna go to the outside into the hairpin. That's gonna be a difficult one to pull out, and he'll not pull that out. He'll lift off and put Dabrowski in front of him as Dabrowski tried contact, and well, free position for Malicha. But Piech and Sokaitis off the road, and Chavez gets in front of them as well. Marcinovski finally gets overtaken by Golik. He gets that place now. He has to set his eyes on Yetzi up in front. Malicha to the outside. Is that going to work? They're going to go side by side into the chicane, but maybe Malicha just about had that overspeed. He's got that position up into 7th. Now it's all about Golik. Can he catch up to Bežanaro in front?
I don't think so. 2 seconds is the gap between himself and Bejanaro. He has the pace, but doesn't have a lot of time. I think we are 3 laps down from the finish of the second race, and that's not enough. I don't think that would be enough of time for Golik. Well, maybe there is. Of course, he has a chance. Needs to concentrate now. Marcinovski is falling behind just a tiny bit, so he's not worried too much of what's happening behind him. He is not expecting for those moves. He will cross that line, and I think, yep, that's gonna be 3 laps till the finish as Yetzi crosses the line. So still a little bit of time for Golik to make that move. Gap went down from 2 seconds to 1.6. Let's look at the last laps of the drivers. So, wow, identical lap time. So Bejanaro basically found nice rhythm in the second race. That's his fastest lap time so far. He just put in a faster lap time than he was able to extract in the first race, which is very good news. What about the situation of Yetzi? He still would drop down to 4th. Yep, he would drop down to 4th if 5 seconds applied. Now he would drop to 5th if 10 seconds apply. So also having a little bit of time to, well, better his chances. Dabrowski a penalty for cutting the track. He's 8th. He'll definitely lose that. Šveras in a battle with Saukaitis. What about Thomasson? He was 15th. I don't think he'll do much in this race. Question is if there's some damage to his Mazda, because he was involved in a bigger accident. He's still 15th, and I don't think he has pace to finish a little bit higher. He's actually dropping and losing pace to Rosante. Oh, Golik right on the tail of Bejanaro. Did Bejanaro just make a mistake? It was 1.6 seconds, and the pace was, well, identical. Did Bejanaro did Bejanaro make a mistake, or Golik find more motivation putting in those fast lap times? Look at the lines of Bejanaro. I think he's quite stressed now. Yetzi setting the fastest lap time of this race. And Golik takes over 33.9. This is the fastest that we've seen so far. I think that's even faster than we had in the qualifying session. It was 34.2. Golik extracting the pace to the maximum.
He's pulling everything out. He had a 0.0 in race 1. He's got an even faster lap time in race 2. If he would have found this in qualifying, wow, he would have been even further ahead.
Yep, I mean, and the incident that he had in this second race, he would have been further ahead, and he would definitely be a threat for Yetzi.
Inside. He tried something there. Again, kind of a desperate move, and he's going to lose time yet again. And this is helping Yetzi up in front for sure. As Golik trying to find a way past. I think Yetzi is probably looking at the 5-second cutoff. He can't do anything if it's a 10-second penalty. He might still have a chance if it's only 5, if these two get into a proper battle. And still, Golik trying to find a way through. He might do down the straightaway here. He's got a better run out of the final turn. Where is he going to go? Bejanaro goes to the inside. Yep, it's one more to go. As Golik goes to the outside, he'll try and make that move. And he'll try and hang it around the outside. Not going to happen. And gets shoved out wide.
Good news.
And again, falls back. He's tried that move so many times that it hasn't worked for him once. So making that mistake again and trying again to get closer. Remember, he made that good move into the next braking zone coming up during race 1. He almost got past. Can he try and do that again? Into here, he's just too far away. He'll try and get the exit, but I don't think he's got the run. And 0.6 behind, I don't think he can do anything against Bejanaro here.
Nope, I think Bejanaro got it covered, only a couple of corners on the racetrack, and that's gonna be more than enough. This is a racetrack where pulling out a move requires quite a lot of work, and well, driver needs to be very precise as Yetzi gets closer to the finish line. Oh, he's so close of being first, even with a 5 seconds penalty. That's not gonna happen, and well, he takes the checker flag, he wins the second race. Question is there a penalty applied? Bejanaro finishes second, Golik third, Marcinovski with, oh, there was a battle with Watson, I believe. Well, Marcinovski fourth, and there you go. I've lost the results because some cars have finished and went back into the pit lane.
Yep, but provisionally, at least, Yetzi takes the win, and that would be enough for him to take P2 in the championship. But I think definitely that outstanding penalty still to think of. Will he get it? Will he not? Everybody takes to the line. But for now, it's Yetzi at the top. He takes the win here tonight provisionally, ahead of Bejanaro, Golik, Marcinovski, Watson, Chapman, Malika, Sokaitis, Piech, Švedas, Rybacki, Ruzante, Velička, Thomason, Dabrowski, Owen, Fashchevsky, and F 8 laps down. At the back, you'll also have the combined results once everything gets checked out by the stewards, and you can see those on worldsimseries.com. Somebody coming out of the pits maybe wants to race for a little bit longer. But that was your MX5 Cup final race, and the new season of the MX5 Cup is already underway. So you can join that, just sign up on the website for free. And next week, the World Sim Series F4 Championship starts. First round at Spa, and we've got the race on Tuesday. So see you then. Make sure to tune in, and have a good night.
To compete, real race, prove everything on the track, and continue to pursue the everlasting racing glory as your routine. A single clack of your wheel. The passion is engaged. All you have to do is to commit, to feel the grip in your hand, to perform every precise entry, to deliver the perfect friction circle, and to master the art of driving. You may ask, where's my race crew? And I would say, leave it to Conspit. Ares, the wheelbase that was built to master the competitive sim racing scene. With its powerful skew pole motor and high-precision optical encoder, Ares delivers an unparalleled driving experience with highly detailed force feedback. 290 GP, deemed to become the true next generation. It breaks the planar constraints through a unique 3D ergonomic design and redefines everything about the Formula steering wheel, featuring a full carbon fiber front housing, ensuring a light yet ultra-rigid experience. The MagFlip rocker-type paddles achieve the same functionality as Formula One setups. The CDP system will push your performance to the next level. Focus and execute the agile maneuver, all within just a blink of an eye. With this zealous combination of Ares and 290 GP, the roar of the road thrills both your hands and soul.